Start the recording. Welcome to Coral Gables Toastmasters. Good evening, everyone. Our club mission is to provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Here are our virtual meeting guidelines. All speakers and functionaries, please rename by clicking your name and include your role, your first and your last name. We ask that you mute your audio during the speeches. You can use the reaction buttons and feel free to send any private messages to provide feedback for any of the speakers if you wish. You may unmute during the introductions, closing remarks, and any award presentations. Former members and Toastmasters from other clubs can take on functionary roles. They may be voted for best table topics or best evaluator. Other guests can participate in table topics but cannot be voted for the best table topic. All functionary roles and speaking roles will be granted co-host privileges in the case that they need to share their screen. Our media statement is as follows. Any and all images and video recordings taken during this meeting will be used expressly for Toastmasters related purposes and not for commercial gain. I will now cite the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Fantastic. So my name is Lucas Califo. I am the president of Coral Gables Toastmasters. I'd like to welcome everyone that's able to join us tonight, our members and our guests. Welcome. First thing I'd like to do in any Toastmasters meeting is introduce any of the guests that we have here with us. And the first person I see on my screen is Gina. Gina, feel free to unmute and just introduce yourself.
Hi, good afternoon, good evening, Coral Gables. It's a pleasure being here. I just wanted to come and stop by and give a big shout out. I hope it's appropriate, Lucas, because I have to leave, but I just wanted to remind the club that our District 47 conference is scheduled April 27th through the 30th. Registration is required. This is a good opportunity for you to look at other Toastmaster clubs, come to the business meeting, and also attend the contest. Again, it's April 27th through the 30th. And Lucas, I know Jasmine is not here. I know this is videotaped. So I also wanted during this time also to recognize Jasmine Sandoval, who is your member. She received first prize in the Area 54 Table Topics contest, and she also received second place in the Division E Table Topics contest. These are the awards that will be delivered to her. And although she's not here, I just wanted to make sure publicly that she was acknowledged for the work that she's doing, especially seeing that this was her first opportunity to present. That's all I wanted to say, and thank you.
Thank you very much, Gina, for number one, coming by to our meeting, and number two, for recognizing Jasmine and her amazing talent through the not only our club contest, but the area contest, and finally at the division contest. So we're very proud of her, and we recognized her on social media. And we do look forward to presenting those awards to her in person, because I do have an announcement to make in regard to meeting in person. So Gina, you can deliver it, or you can come to one of our meetings and deliver it that way.
I will
It's
come to the
entirely up to
in-person
you.
meeting. Just let me know the date.
Okay, fantastic. So basically the announcement, which was first announced at the get together that we had this past Saturday, is basically that we've been approved by Nicholas Children's Hospital, which was where we were hosting meetings prior to COVID-19. We've been approved by the staff there to resume hosting Toastmasters meetings So very excited about that. It's been a long time coming. We've tried a variety of places to try to make it work. And whether it was the cost of getting a space or just the logistics, it just didn't work for a lot of the places that myself and that other members had looked into to try to get ourselves a permanent spot so that we can transition out of meeting over Zoom. So as a result of this, we will be slowly, well, we will be not slowly, but we will be transitioning into in-person meetings starting May 11th. So what does that mean as far as the remaining meetings until that date? Well, we do have one meeting left in the month of April, which is April 27th. So that meeting will be on Zoom. It will be our final Zoom meeting. And then the next meeting will be May 11th, and that meeting will take place at Nicholas Children's Hospital, which it's the one in West Miami, Southwest 24th Street and around 62nd Avenue. It's the main hospital, the main campus there. We will be in one of the auditoriums, and we will be updating our website to reflect the change of information. And number two, to have the map of the hospital there to make it easy for our members and our guests to find the location. For some of us, like Brian and Jane, we know where it is. We're very familiar with where we used to meet, but for others, not so much. But I do like Nicholas Children's because it's pretty easy to navigate, especially if you're going to stay on the first floor, which we do. So in any case, I'm very excited for this new chapter for our club, because I know that we've all been feeling the Zoom fatigue and we've been really, really itching to get back to in-person meetings. And plus I want to see our members in person. I want to see guests in person. So I'm very excited about that. One thing to mention though, when it comes to meeting at Nicholas Children's Hospital is that they are requiring us to meet certain health and safety protocols, nothing out of the ordinary, nothing unreasonable. So we're more than happy to follow those. And those will also be posted on our website. And for any guests that choose to RSVP for an upcoming meeting, whether it's on May 11th or any upcoming meeting after that, those guidelines will be published and available for guests to see. All right. So as your Toastmaster for this evening, I will be leading the meeting in the three different segments. Well, in this case, two segments for our Toastmasters meeting for April 13th. For our guests, the Toastmasters meeting has three segments: prepared speeches, table topics, which is improvised speaking, and evaluations, where members will evaluate the prepared speeches that they heard just earlier in the meeting, providing essential feedback to improve our members. But before I move along to that, I want to hear from our members. I already called on Gina, and then I got sidetracked. So now I want to hear from Tanner. Tanner, feel free to unmute and just give us a brief introduction as to how you found us and what you're hoping to get from this meeting.
Hi guys, nice to meet you. So I'm Tanner Bracken. I live in Fort Lauderdale, and I'm a business analyst at OneStream Software. To be honest, I just wanted to join, see how Toastmaster goes, and I just want to communicate better and be a better presenter. So
fantastic. Thank you, Tanner, and welcome.
Thank you.
Let's hear from Sergio. Feel free to unmute.
There we go. Hello, I'm Sergio. I live here in Coral Gables. I was looking on Meetup to find people to network in the area, and I get to this group. I like the group. I have a YouTube channel, so this is really good for me on the expressing, getting better on that. So that's what I want to get in the group and get to know you.
Thank you very much, Sergio, and welcome. Now we're going to jump into our functionary roles. So these are members that will support the meeting, and the first person that I will call on is Gilberto, who will serve as our timer. Gilberto, feel free to let us know what you'll be doing for us tonight.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Gilberto. greeting Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmaster and guests. As timer, I will time the table topics speakers, formal speeches, and evaluations. I will also alert each speaker of the time they have left using the green, yellow, and red cards, which denote a specific time remaining. The table topic speaker should be limit the remarks to no more than 2 minutes. At 1 minute, I will raise the green card. At 1 minute and 30 seconds, I will raise the yellow card. At 2 minutes, I will raise the red card. We are also going to have a new segment today that is going to be with speeches for about 5 minutes. In that case, at 3 minutes, I will raise the green card. At 4 minutes, I will raise the yellow card, and at 5 minutes, I will raise the red card.
Thank you very much. And Gilberto, can you give us the timing for table topics?
The table topics should be 2 minutes.
Okay, so that's green at 1 minute, yellow at 1.5 minutes, and red at 2.
Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you, Roberto, for helping us out there. Let's hear from our counter, Felix. You're on mute, Felix.
Greetings, Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and guests. The purpose of the counter is to note words and sounds that are used as a crutch or pause filler by anyone who speaks. During the meeting, I will listen for overused words, including and, well, but, so, and you know. I will also listen to filler sounds, including and I will also note when a speaker repeats a word or phrase such as I, or this means. At the end of the meeting, I will report the number of times that each speaker used these expressions. Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you very much, Felix. Let's hear from our grammarian, Daria.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Tonight, I will be the grammarian, and I will be checking for good grammar, special extra good use of words, and noting down when proper grammar wasn't used. Also, I have picked a word of the day from dictionary.com. It is Sennachi, spelled S-E-N-N-A-C-H-I-E. It is a professional storyteller of family history. It is borrowed from the Scottish Gaelic language. I assume that we all try to become Senachis. I suppose those are the best kind of people at family gatherings. Who doesn't like to sit around and listen to a Senachi, right? So I am sure that everyone will be able to use this in their speeches tonight. Thank you.
Great word, Daria. Love it. And if you could do us a favor, in the chat, just put the word and the definition whenever you have a chance. And last but not least, our vote counter, Jane.
Hey everyone. So my purpose is to tally up all the votes for the categories such as usually prepared speeches, but I don't think we're doing that tonight, for table topics and for best evaluator, which I don't think we're doing tonight either. So tonight I'll just be tallying up the votes for best table topics. Thanks.
All right, thank you, Jane. And we might have another one for you to receive votes on, but I will get into it because this is a unique addition to this particular meeting, something that we're going to do different that will allow our members, some of our members, to go ahead and give come up with something unique. So in the email, I had mentioned that there was going to be a Shark Tank kind of aspect to this meeting, which I'm very excited for. So what this means is that I'm going to share my screen, and what we're going to do is problem solve. I'm going to show a problem, and then I will put our members in a breakout room. So there's going to be two problems. Some of them will be in one breakout room, some will be in another. And then your task is to identify a product that would help in resolving the issue. Now, this isn't something that's going to resolve the issue just for yourself. This is something that needs to be, in some cases, mass market. So it's all fun and games. And what you'll do afterwards is basically give a pitch to the rest of us here once the time has finished. So I'm going to give everyone 5 minutes, but let's first share my screen and see what you have to look forward to. So one of the problems that is quite serious that needs to be addressed in this Toastmasters meeting is this. You're having an ice cream and it starts to drip all over your fingers. You feel like you can't have it fast enough. No matter how fast you go, the ice cream will continue to melt and fall over your fingers, and it will be just a complete mess, and you'll have to get napkins, you'll have to find a bathroom, wash your hands, wipe them down. But you know what? You might be with some people and they want to go places, they want to go somewhere, and they're being stopped by you or whoever whose ice cream has now run all over their fingers and might have even got it on their clothing. So that's problem number one. Problem number two is you're in the office, you're ready to go and enjoy the weekend. Wherever your workplace is, you want to take your laptop home or your device, and guess what? The cord is stuck under the office chair. And now you have to spend extra time trying to untangle this, and so you can make it to where you need to go. So that's problem number two. So for our members, you're going to be put into a breakout room, and you will work together. And then when you come back, you will have to present the following. You describe the product that is going to solve this issue. You're going to have to talk about, from your perspective, why it's such an important problem to be solved. And number three, how much will it cost approximately, and to whom are you going to market this product to? You're going to give it to the rest of the audience, and then we will essentially vote on which pitch we feel best solves the problem and that we'll be most interested in. Let me stop sharing my screen here, and let's open up 2 breakout rooms, and I'm going to start assigning some folks here. So let's go with Roberto. Let me see who I have here.
Lucas, quick question before we jump
Sure.
out. Well, when we come back from the breakout rooms, do we split up the speaking? Is it like each person takes on a speaking role for each question, or is that something that's handled within the room?
You can break it up that way, but whatever the teams are, each person on that team should have a moment to speak
Excellent. Thank
in
you.
the pitch afterwards. So when I put you all in, we're gonna do 5 minutes. I'll do the timing for that and close out the breakout room when that is done. So I'm gonna have Gilberto, Jane, and Daria for room number 1. Let me change the name here. And room number 2. Okay, so I think we're gonna have to put, it's gonna be 3 and 2. That's how I can make it work. So let's open those rooms now. And all you got to do is join. Okay, all of them are in, so let's time them now. Okay. Well, for Tanner and Sergio, this would be an opportunity, if you would like, to ask any questions you might have about Toastmasters, what a Toastmasters meeting is like. Yes, this is a Toastmasters meeting, and we are for the most part following the traditional path of it, the segments, but it's open Q&A.
Mhm. Yeah, so you guys are doing in person at, you said May, I thought, right?
May 11.
Is Coral Gables, is that in Florida, right?
Yes, yes. If,
Okay.
do you work and live in Fort Lauderdale?
Yeah, so I moved here last year, so I'm really not sure like the whole area and everything. So
Ah,
that was the
okay.
one. Is Coral Gables like pretty close?
Unfortunately, no. I'm not saying that it's hours away, but you're kind of basically going from Fort Lauderdale, wherever you are, to Miami, essentially.
Oh, that's not too bad.
Yeah. It's about, it just really depends on when you end up leaving. The, whenever you you end up leaving Fort Lauderdale,
Mhm.
that will certainly affect traffic and how long you can expect to be on the road.
So does it also cost money as well if you want to go in person? Does that cost money?
No, attending as a guest is entirely free.
Okay, cool.
And there's no limit as far as how many times someone can join as a guest. However, the extent to which they can interact is going to be limited because they can't do prepared speeches, they can't do table topics and the evaluation. So
Awesome. So this is pretty much just watching to see if you want to join, right?
basically,
Cool.
everyone, for example, everyone that's in the breakout room, they are members, they have paid to join, and this will allow them to join meetings, give prepared speeches. A common question that guests have is, well, what does it mean by to give a speech? Do I just come up with anything? And the question is, the answer is that there's a curriculum, like a program that Toastmasters International has, where the member can improve in certain aspects of whatever aspect they want to improve on. There's things like focusing on team collaboration, presentation mastery, dynamic leadership, and they give you projects with different speeches. They don't limit on the content, so they're not interested in saying you need to talk about this.
Mhm.
It's basically about telling you what skills you want to improve on, giving you information, and then you come up with a speech incorporating what you've learned.
Gotcha.
Okay. Let me get back to my timeline here, see where we're at. Sergio, any questions that I might be able to answer?
No, I think I'm fine. I would like to look forward to the meetings in person. So it's a good news that you're gonna have the meetings in person soon.
Yeah, I'm very excited about it as well. It was probably 2 weeks ago where we just got the logistics and the approvals and everything like that found out.
So you've been like 2 years on Zoom?
Yeah, we went virtual March 2020, and then we kind of made that decision to begin looking at alternative locations in 2021, but then the variants kind of pushed us backwards
Yeah.
to an extent. So we were looking at a variety of places, and some places they were asking a ridiculous amount of money to allow us to host our meetings, and there's no way that we can do $500 for a hour and a half meeting. It's just not feasible for us. And then just other places, whether it was timing or the size of the location, just didn't work. In the end, the hospital really is this sweet spot because hospitals are open pretty much 24/7. And we don't need to, we're lucky that they have meeting spaces there. It fits perfectly with our size, the tech requirements are there, and it's pretty much low maintenance. So it's really good that we were able to get that space.
Nice. How many people are on the group?
So we have 13 right now.
Okay. Did it go low because of the pandemic or it went high?
It goes through waves. It goes through waves when it comes to membership because there are, we'll hit a surge and then 6 months down the line, some people will, life happens. They either can't make the meetings anymore, or maybe they were able to accomplish what they wanted to. Some members join Toastmasters because they have a couple of presentations coming up in their job and they want the feedback, they want to improve as quickly as possible. And Toastmasters is a venue for that because they can get feedback on their presentations or whatever the case might be, and they can get assistance with that. And then it's just a mixed variety, really. We've had members that we knew that they weren't going to re-enroll because they had life and a lot of other things happened. Some of them that said, I'm not gonna be able to make meetings for the next couple of months. So at that point, it's understandable that why they wouldn't renew. There's no point in renewing if they can't come to the meetings. So it's gonna vary, really.
Okay. So I saw the payment is like $20 to roll in and then 45 every 6 months or something around that.
Yes, so for someone that's joining for the very first time, there are 3 fees. There's the Toastmasters International fee, the club dues, and then the one-time new member fee, which is about $20. So when a person joins for the very first time, like they haven't been in any Toastmasters club at any point, they will pay the international fee, the club dues, and the new member fee. But then when 6 months pass, they will not have to pay the new member fee. They will only pay the Toastmasters International dues and the club dues. And
Okay.
it all varies depending on when the person begins. So if one were to select April, that would give them membership from April through the end of September.
Okay, I see.
Okay, I'm going to close out. We'll bring them back in. So Tanner and Sergio, you all will be voting on which pitch you think is the best. And you will send your votes via private message to our vote counter, Jane. Sound good?
Sounds good.
I don't know, that sounds like a little like corrupt. I don't know. I mean, we might just have the best idea, it turns out.
Or you can send it to me,
Okay.
but
We did trust you, Jane. We did.
yeah, we
Not
did.
anymore.
We did, yeah.
No, totally. I would never do that. I don't know. Yeah, you could trust me.
Okay, send them to Jane when you hear it. And I know that we're gonna start off with ice cream first, but Gilberto, since you are part of that group, I'm gonna time it, so don't worry, I got what I need. So you can just focus on giving your end, all right?
Yeah, but we have one question because
Sure.
if we split the explanation, For example, there is some part of that, the price, for example, speak 5 minutes just about the price is going to be hard. We need to do 5 minutes between the three of us, or how it can be done?
5 minutes at most between the three.
Ah, okay, that's great.
Right. Okay, let me go ahead and get my timer ready. All right, take it away. Team one, ice cream.
Hello, fellow Shark Tank members, judges. I know you guys are gonna feel me on this. Summer's coming up and, we just love to feel refreshed with treats such as snow cones, popsicles, ice cream even. But if there's anything that can put a damper on that sweet, creamy, delicious treat, you don't want it dripping down your hands. It's going to be hot. The treat is cold, but we have a solution for all that dripping. We present to you the edible napkin, or as we like to call it, the no mess mochi. So stick with me here. This is a napkin that is edible. It's made of a rice cake-like, mochi-like substance that will sop up all that delicious dripping ice cream. And kind of like how you get a piece of bread after eating something nice and saucy and you kind of sop it up on the plate, you can do this with the ice cream too. Why not? Same concept. And it's good for the environment too. And I will now let Gilberto talk to you guys about the very affordable price that our product comes at.
Yeah, well, it's going to cost you just $1. Just $1. This product is going to give you, well, the advantage that you are not going to get messy with your hands, and well, at the end, we think that it's going to be very affordable for you. Also, we are going to be able to enjoy better your ice cream.
Mm-hmm.
And since we need to know who we're selling this ice cream most messless mochi napkins to, we're gonna sell it to ice cream stores. And why not? What a better place to get that amazing option of having this delicious mochi rice cake to take in that ice cream or popsicle that has tried to escape you. It's going to catch it, and so you can get another bite of it, and it makes sure that your delicious frozen treat doesn't fall or go anywhere, so the ice cream store doesn't have to replenish any dropped ice cream that may have fallen or had been lost to this lovely hot heat that melted it so quickly. Save your ice cream, save your hands, get yourself some messless mochi. Thank you, Shark Tankers.
Thank you very much. Let's hear from team number two, the stuck cable. Over to you.
Hello, Sharks. My name is Felix,
And I'm Brian.
and we're here to talk to you about Cords to Go. Have you ever been sitting at your desk and you're looking at the clock and it's hitting 5 o'clock and you're saying, I got to get home. I have a Sinachi coming to talk to the family. And next you realize as you go to pull up your laptop, your cord is stuck to your chair. You're going to miss the train. It's going to take you at least 10 minutes to unravel that cord. What are you going to do?
A problem that I think we've all faced. Am I right, Sharks? And the problem that we face here is not just one of our cords being stuck in our desk. It's not just the missed Sinachi. It's not just the children waiting. It's the combination, right? It's the freedom that we're lacking. That's what our product here today, Cords to Go, is looking to solve, to give you back your freedom. Now I ask you, what does freedom mean to you? For me, it's the essence of life. It's what, as humans, we are trying to secure. That's why we work. We work for money. We use money as a tool to one day we hope to retire so we can have all the time in the world to spend with our family, to spend with our friends, to spend with our children, listening to a Sinachi. Regale us with tales of past lives and generations and stories of our ancestors. That is what freedom is. And that's
So
what
Sharks.
Forged to Go gives you. Felix, please.
So Sharks, for $100,000 for 10% of our company. Our cost is $1.50 landed. We sell it for $19.99. We have sold in the last 8 months $1.5 million in product. And that's only online. But wait, we have a PO with Office Depot Furniture to sell our product. Our product comes with a wire cutter and six 6-inch replacement cords. So what do? Snip, snip, replace the cord, and you're off. Plenty of time to make the train and get home to hear the Sinachi. So what do you say, Sharks? Are you in with us for Cards to Go?
Thank you very much. Fantastic job, both teams. At this point, our guests, both Tanner and Sergio, feel free to send a private message to our vote counter, Jane, with your favorite pitch. I'll give you a moment to do that, and then we will move on.
Just the team, right? Or a specific person?
It can be just the team. So let's make it easy. It will either be ice cream or cables or cords, whichever one you want to use. All right. So thank you for participating in that Shark Tank exercise, allowing you all to think creatively. When I picked out those problems, I was like, oh, I wonder what they're gonna come up with. And I was very glad to hear that there were two ingenious solutions to both of these problems. Now let's jump into table topics, our improvised speaking session. Brian, over to you. Let us know what table topics is all about, and you can carry on with the segment.
Absolutely. Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. Tonight, I'll be serving as the table topics master for the meeting. And just to give you a little background, table topics is an opportunity for everyone to get involved and give a extemporaneous response to a random question. These questions are not known beforehand, and it allows everyone to participate. So for guests and members, we all can come together and give a response. So before I begin, our guest today, Tanner, Sergio, would you like to participate in getting a question?
Sure, yeah.
Sure, yeah.
I'd like to ask, but I was probably gonna ask you anyways, but for the politeness, I was getting that out of the way. But we'll both, I have questions for both of you, but just to give you an idea, I'll ask members first. So you can get a kind of sense of what we're doing, and then we can jump right in. So tonight, my first question: when does silence convey more than words? When does silence convey more than words? Jane.
Thank you, Table Topics Master, for that possibly loaded question. Guys, girls, I'm gonna say more guys than girls. Silence is not always something you want to hear from someone, especially like your significant other, right? Depending on how your relationship is, maybe you're used to the other person being very chatty. Maybe your significant other has a lot of things to say a lot of the time, and you just kind of like get used to hearing that. But what happens when you just realize you can hear more of the environment than your significant other? Is that a good thing? If you ask them, hey, how are you feeling today? And they just say, okay, and nothing more, is that necessarily Does that mean that they're okay? I don't know. I'll tell you that usually if you hear okay and just silence, that's not going to be a good thing. It all depends on the micro expressions, guys. And I think silence definitely conveys something more if it's in that specific context. Thank you, Table Topics Master.
Jane, excellent response and so very true. And I think relevant to all of us. I think we've all been there in that situation. Thank you very much. Moving on. How are you pursuing your dreams right now? This very instant today, how are you pursuing your dreams? Gilberto.
Well, good evening, everyone. Well, right now I'm here joining to the Toastmaster Club of Coral Gables because as part of my dreams is be able to speak better in English and be able to handle way better than I do now in my job. For example, I work with customers all the time. It's in the technological field. I have a lot of experience in the technological area, more or less about 20 years. But at this moment, it's very frustrating for me that I'm not able to communicate and express the way that I should and the way that I know that I can do it and the way that I do in my local my original language. In order to grow professionally and to achieve everything that I want to achieve in the future, I think that is very important for me to express better and communicate better, and that is one of my main dreams at this moment. And because of that, I think that be here with all of you is going to help me a lot to achieve that dream in the future. Thank you, everybody.
Gilberto, excellent answer. I thought you expressed yourself very well with that table topics response. So right on the way. Excellent job. Thank you.
Thank you.
Moving right along. In the past 3 weeks, what is your fondest memory? In the past 3 weeks, what is your fondest memory? Sergio.
My funnest memory. So I attended Tony Robbins Mastery program about 3 weeks ago. Was something really different for myself, was something that made me realize some stuff that I had to realize on my life, and was an incredible 4 days jumping and laughing and getting a lot of emotions. So it was a great moment to feel all this connection that I have to feel with myself, to be able to improve myself and see where do I have to work with to work in to get better on the things that I want to achieve in my life. Thank you.
Excellent answer. Tony Robbins seminar. I've never been, but I've heard incredible things. A lot of energy, like you said, jumping around. Definitely an intense time. Thank you for that.
Yep.
Moving right along. When you have a random hour of free time, what do you usually do? How do you fill that hour? With a random hour of free time, how do you fill that hour? Daria.
With a random hour of free time, which is so sparing these days, I honestly normally take a nap. Sometimes I reach out. If it's an hour I can call my sister in Ukraine, I try to call her and see how she's doing. Or I have this book that's in my bag that I keep with me if I have a moment. Pause, The Richest Man in Babylon. Although I'm at a point where they're just numbering rules, but it usually has nice stories in it that are motivating. Also, I have Pimsleur on my phone, so I try to keep up with my Arabic because I studied Arabic. But if you don't practice something, you lose it. So I always try to keep up with that. Or I'll watch something in Ukrainian to make sure my Ukrainian's all right. Or I'll take the dog for a walk. So there's endless amount of things you could possibly do. I try to work on myself, but sometimes I just take a nap.
Thank you, Daria. Incredible answer. I like how you started with, sometimes just take a nap. So I kind of thought it was going one way, but then you filled it up with so much other activities in there. So, and obviously, like, as the club knows, we're with you with, the situation in Ukraine, and obviously any way we can help, please let us know. But thank you for your response. Moving right along. If you had to teach something, what would you teach? If you absolutely had to teach something, what would you teach? Felix.
Thank you, Mr. Table Topics Master. I do enjoy teaching, and I teach some courses on how to do certain things that are more work-related than anything. But if I teach something else, something that I am passionate about, it would probably be two things. Some of you may know that I am a backyard beekeeper, and I feel kind of like a Johnny Appleseed of bees, where I like to tell everybody about bees and encourage people to become backyard beekeepers. The second thing is golf. I enjoy playing golf. And as they say, if you're not too good at it, you probably can teach it. So I think I can teach some golf. Those two things I would be very passionate about, and I would very much enjoy teaching. Thank you, Mr. Table Topics Master.
Excellent answers. Thank you, sir. I believe we have time for one more question. If you found out today that your life was a movie, what kind of movie would it be? What type of movie? What movie would this be? If your life was a movie, what kind of movie would it be? Tanner.
My life was a movie. I would say it would have to be a sports movie, just because there's a lot of good feeling in it and a lot of inspiration as well. Such as The Blind Side. A guy that came out of nothing, came from the bottom, and he made it to the top with just a little help. And that's where he made it. He made it to the top, and he was very happy with his life. And he went through some struggles, but everyone has to go through some struggles sometimes. That's it for me.
Absolutely. Thank you, Tanner. Great answer. And you're absolutely right. Sometimes it just takes just one person to kind of see your value, and there's going to be struggle, but that's where we overcome and we inspire others. So thank you for that. Great answer. And with that is all the questions I have for table topics this evening. Can I get a timers report for our responses tonight?
In this case, Sergio and Tanner do not qualify because they do not achieve the 1 minute mark. Jane was 1 minute 22 seconds, Daria 1 minute 10 seconds, and Felix 1 minute 5 seconds. They all qualify.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Be sure to send your votes for all of our qualifying members.
Gilberto also qualifies. He was at 127.
Excellent. Thank you, Lucas. Our vote counter, Jane, please send your votes to Jane for best table topics. And with that, I will pass the floor back to our Toastmaster evening, Lucas Califel.
All right, fantastic. So while all of you are sending your votes by private message to Jane, I just want to give a quick evaluation of the meeting itself. We started a little bit after 7 o'clock, which is within reason. We started at about, we did a guess at around 7:05. And we got started shortly afterward. we were able to include a segment that is different from what we usually go through in a Toastmasters meeting. When we have prepared speeches, we listen to those prepared speeches, which are typically 5 to 7 minutes long. We'll have table topics, which of course we did, and then the third segment would be evaluations, where members would give speech evaluations for the prepared speeches that they heard, depending on which one is assigned to them. So what I'm looking forward to for the next meeting is that we'll be able to flesh out our roster of speakers so that our members can continue to progress in the Pathways Education Program. But apart from that, kudos to everyone in their roles, especially Gilberto, who was serving as a timer for the first time, and also for Daria, who was also serving as grammarian for her very first time. I'm sure she'll do just as good of a job as she does as a counter. So what I'm going to do now is call on our individual functionaries. We already heard from Gilberto, the table topics timing, so thank you for that. But let's hear from Felix, the out counter, and see how well we did this evening with our crutch words.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. I have Gilberto with 2 ahs, 2 ums, 3 ers, and 2 repeats. I have Jane with 2 ums. I have Daria with a perfect score. I have Lucas with a perfect score and Brian with a perfect score. And that is my report, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you very much, Felix. Let's jump over to Daria. Let us know how we did.
Everyone uses grammar superbly. Brian and Felix both used the word of the day twice, Sanachi, and they were excellent at it with enthusiasm and in perfect reference. So congratulations, Felix and Brian. And congratulations for everyone for using excellent grammar.
You cut out a little bit. I just wanted to make sure that, were you finished?
Yes.
Okay. You cut out, so I didn't know if you were speaking to me or not. But in any case, thank you very much, Daria, for number 1, a challenging but very useful word of the day, Sanachi. Unfortunately, you already gave your report, so me saying that now doesn't count. But the purpose of Toastmasters is that we use the words outside of Toastmasters. So I'm hoping that I will use that at some point, maybe at work tomorrow. I'll ask my coworker, hey, have you heard of the word Sanachi? Over coffee. Thank you for that. Okay. And Jane, do you have winners for the 2 segments, our Shark Tank segment and table topics? Yeah, you do. You can go ahead and announce those.
Sorry, I wanted that special effect. All right, guys, I will now announce the Shark Tank winners. By a landslide, the award goes to Cables to Go. Woo. And for table topics, the award goes to myself.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you, Jane, for announcing the winners, and congratulations to our winners, but well, of course, you, Jane, for table topics, and for Cables to Go. That is the team made up of Felix and Brian. Fantastic presentation, and fantastic presentation for Team Ice Cream as well. That was a very creative solution to dripping ice cream. All right, at this point, as far as any new business, I don't have any. I said that from the beginning, but actually I would like to reiterate what Gina mentioned, is that the district conference is coming up. I think she said it was April 27th through the 30th. And yes, some of the sessions are going to be in the morning and the afternoon, so you may have to kind of manage that with work depending on the availability that you have. Some of the things that will happen during that meeting is the business meeting, which some of the executive officers can attend, such as VPE president, VPE as a VP education. We also have the district table topics competition. And I think also the international speech competition will also take place at the district level in that conference. And there will be some educational sessions. I was looking on the website, I was trying to find out what kind of sessions they're going to be hosting. I didn't see that, but I will look into it a little bit more, reach out to some folks and see if they can tell me what kind of educational sessions will be hosted. And I will send an email, actually in my recap email for this meeting, I will send the link, the registration link to the conference. So it's free, so feel free to register, get value out of it. And if you can't make all 3 days, that is totally fine. You join at your availability. Okay, I'm going to pass it over to Brian, our VP Education, to call roll for our next meeting, our final virtual meeting, April 27th.
Thank you, Lucas. Yeah, as you mentioned, our next meeting, April 27th, our final virtual meeting. As of now, we have a blank slate. So do we have a Toastmaster amongst us for next meeting? Any speakers? Anyone stepping up? I know the last few meetings we've been light on speakers, so I know we're all itching to get back and give some speaks. We got Jane and Felix. I see you
Yeah,
raising
I'll
your
give a
hand. Perfect. Jane, was that a hand for a speech? Perfect. Okay. Daria, how many speeches have you given? 3 speeches or 2? I know you've given 2.
Only 2.
2. Okay.
The
No worries.
next one is supposed to be vocal variants and like mannerisms. I want to wait it out until we're in person for that.
Perfect. No, yeah, you're fine. I was going to see if you wanted to do an evaluator role, but you have to have 3 for that, so no worries.
Oh,
Any functionaries for next meeting? Timer, counter.
I could be the timer again if it.
I mean, we can set you
Oh.
up. I mean, we can, if you want, you can do another functionary, Gilberto. I mean, timer's kind of easy to fill, so we can wait. Or if you want to, it's no problem. It's, your call. You can if you really want to.
Marion or something.
Yeah, if you want to mix it up, kind of fill it out with other functionaries, we could sign you up for something else, just to kind of be a little more well-rounded on the functionary side. We can do, we can talk. We'll talk. We'll see which role. We'll set you up with a role just so you can kind of get a little more experience with other functionaries. Okay.
Yeah, because with the counter, well, at this point, I'm not very good differentiating some sounds, and I think that I'm not going to be, maybe good at it, but I can try. But
no worry, that's why we're here. We're here to get better. So I'm a terrible speaker, and I get up here and
you are a great speaker at this moment.
Appreciate it, thank you. But no, we can talk and we'll fill it out. But
Okay.
yeah, so we got 2 speakers for next meeting, and we'll keep working to fill that out. Again, April 27th.
Brian, you can put me as table topics master.
Table topics, gotcha. Okay. Thank you, everyone, and I will now pass it back to Lucas.
All right, fantastic. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to close out our meeting. It's 8:05. Stop the recording.